Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and let's speed it up, shall we? As framed by the peerless poetry of the modern day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with Poisoned Rose from King of America, released in 1986. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello's birth name, putting even the most sentimental and lugubrious, aspiring and polished romantic poet to shame. Poisoned Rose never seems to question whether there even is such a thing as a poisoned rose. It's taken as a given, as a universal truth. It's a pathos we've all indulged in, and therefore it must be real. The perils of the rose's thorns become commonplace and uninspired in the wake of this unsuspecting villain masquerading as a symbol of delicate beauty and admiring love. The melodrama, wrought from the tangled metaphor and imagery contained within Poisoned Rose, might linger in the realm of the maudlin, but doesn't seem to rise or sink, as the case may be, to the level of satire. Or maybe it does. Maybe it's a parody of romantic endeavors that have come before. Maybe like Aki Akira's Maki stellar interpretation of La Vie de Bohème from 1992. Given that King of America is my sentimental favorite album of the modern-day master whom I'm irretrievably sentimental about, I'm clearly too biased to answer this question objectively. The joy of dragging my linguistic finger with a sexy slow drag through the sweet icing of this spectacular song that is already slow and sultry is nearly too much to bear. How will I ever recover from this indulgence? She said, pressing the back of her porcelain hand gently against her tilted forehead. The poisoned rose that you gave to me, it left me half alive and half in ecstasy. But if half of your love is all I can win, give me just a fraction, but no more medicine. Anchoring this beautiful ballad by addressing the existence of the poisoned rose immediately touches the complicated nerve of love and relationships. While the thesis statement is clear and engaging, the mathematics of this equation is spectacularly off balance. We have three halves, alive and ecstasy don't seem to add up to love, yet the conclusion to give that much 1/2 seems acceptable, with more equations to follow as this piece progresses. The concluding proclamation of basically rejecting the antidote for what the gift giver has bestowed upon our narrator seems to embrace the heartbreaking elements of romance. What a thrilling start to an absolute belter. The poisoned rose on a Valentine card that you take straight to the heart that you call my junkyard. I think we might agree that our beloved entertainer has forever infused the word Valentine with much more gravity than the greeting card holiday it is meant to represent. Combined with the utterly devastating imagery of the discarded, rusted, twisted, and broken connotations of a junkyard, these 4 lines sizzle with overwhelming implications that seem impossible to have been conveyed with such brevity, once again exhibiting Mr. Costello's understated mastery of word economy. But if all I can do is save pieces of you, the piece of your mind, The piece of your heart didn't tear me apart like the poisoned rose I received from you. Perhaps once again employing faulty mathematics to illuminate a romantic quandary, this verse exemplifies the absurd nature of how to rationally explain feelings. Intellectual understanding of thinking and feeling pales in comparison to the talisman of love that we meticulously spit and polish. I don't know how it came to grow into this very sad affair. Every time we do the decent thing, somebody spikes the drink and a single becomes a pair. The suggestion of sadness that has tinged this piece from the beginning has now become painted over with unmistakable regret. Speaking for myself, there seems to be fewer emotions as devastating as regret. There doesn't seem like much can distract it from gnawing at you long after the event has transpired. The delicate rhyming pairs in this verse, know, groan, thing and drink, affair and pair, bring a sense of order to the elegance of how to confess to succumbing to our baser instincts. Although perhaps obvious in its meaning, having the ability to affix our own definition of what the decent thing is a thrilling stroke of genius. I suspect it brings a clear image of a situation unique to our own experiences. Equally as evident is the age-old excuse of sobriety and how easily it can go missing, how easy it is to assign the blame to external forces as evidenced by how somebody spikes the drink. Once again, we're confronted with more math, this time cleverly illustrating how 1 plus 1 equals 2 wrapped in a seductive subterfuge. The poisoned rose that you wear at your best, that I keep pressed between the white sheets where you lie half undressed. Rhyming best with undressed was enough to prick up my ears when I first heard this unearthly verse. Then the utterly brilliant metaphor within a metaphor within a metaphor of the white sheets at once solidified my unwavering respect for Mr. Costello and inspired me to attempt to emulate this brilliance by writing verses of my own. That's when I learned the true meaning of lugubrious silliness, sending my own writing career in a more attainable direction and leaving the construction of brilliant verses to Mr. Costello. In a word, respect, Mr. Costello, respect. In a word, my reason why King of America is my sentimental favorite. I'd never heard such cleverness. The white sheets, pages in a hardbound book where a literal rose is pressed, forever a souvenir. The white sheets, the written words of a love lamented, a fantasy. The white sheets, the manifestation of the inability to do the decent thing. My God, how these few words carry so much demonstrative weight. I threw away my shirt and shoes. You looked and I dived in. It's just you and me now, 'cause I threw away the gin. I threw away your alibis and all your worn-out clothes. I threw myself upon the floor, but I couldn't throw away this poisoned rose, this poisoned rose, this poisoned rose. Bittersweet can't even begin to come close to describing the sentiment behind the vulnerability, intimacy, and ultimate surrender depicted in this verse, a verse spit out with such verbal anguish that it makes me question the melodrama I suspect has been lurking this entire time. All the excuses to borrow a phrase are scattered round the room. All the sticky complications of this twisted love affair are brought to light, and it isn't pretty. Up to now, all we have known is that someone has bestowed a poisoned rose that seems to torment and titillate our narrator. Now, we can add alibis and worn out clothes to this character who has helped to create such romantically charged anguish. Seduction seems so complicated, both alluring and harmful. The clever use of ironic repetition of throw and through makes each gesture that much more palpable, that much more connected, evoking a strange sense of unexpected empathy.
Dig it.
Again, this has been a slow drag with Poisoned Rose from 1986's King of America. I thank whatever's in the sky above that I don't have to remain objective whilst dancing a slow drag with Mr. Costello's words and phrases. This piece is beyond tremendous. This piece helped solidify and confirm my undying love of words, cluing me in to the potential for stellar turns of phrases lurking around every corner and inspiring my career as a linguist. It's little wonder why I dedicated my first published book, The Most Terrible Time in My Life Ends Thursday, to Mr. Costello's words. All the definitions of inspired apply. I'm very proud of the book and hope you find time to pick it up and read it. I promise you it'll be hard to put down once you start reading it. Other gems from King of America you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episode 4, The Hangover This Morning. That's a slow drag with the big light. Episode 33, Friends Think of Her Fondly. That's a slow drag with Our Little Angel. Episode 43, It's Better to Confess. It's a slow drag with Glitter Gulch. What a great one. Episode 62, The Present Tense. That's a slow drag with Brilliant Mistake. Episode 84, A Handful of Eagerness. A slow drag with the scintillating I'll Wear It Proudly. And episode 105, The Force of Habit. That's a slow drag with Sudalites. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. I'll be back soon with another episode. So thank you for helping to get the word out about this little passion project. So until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with Remedy.